Welcome to episode 5 of Songs for the Struggling Artist. So I had a dream a few days ago where a friend of mine said, "Will you be starting the singing?" And I said, "No, I will not be starting the singing." He really wanted me to start the singing, though, and I don't know whether this was going to be like a singing party or just like a meal where there was a song. It's a very strange dream. But that I'm not starting the singing unless I do. So I haven't done a lot of these podcast versions of the podcast, of the blogcast, of the blog. And partly just because it takes a little bit of time to sit down in front of the computer and talk to it. And also, it's been an interesting thing making a podcast, like a brand new thing. It's a new medium for me. And there's something about just experimenting and throwing things just out into the world that is a very peculiar experience. I have a blog coming about it, but this is not that blogcast or that podcast or that blog. That blog is in the future. It's already in the present in my notebook, but it is not yet typed. It is not yet posted. It is not yet in the pipeline for sharing with other people. I just share it with myself, and I'll be sharing it with you eventually. So further thoughts on this topic are forthcoming. So today I will be reading to you from Songs from the Struggling Artist, the blog. I have fallen behind, so there are 3 blogs that I haven't recorded yet, and I am still, as I'm talking to you right now, deciding whether I'm going to do all of them, one of them, none of them. This is the question. I'm going to pause this, make that decision, and then tell you. This is called The Selfless Teacher Story. I watched a clip of The Ellen Show in which they honored a kindergarten teacher for her dedication and generosity. On the surface, it was a touching story about a selfless, dedicated classroom teacher honored on TV and repaid by a generous corporation. And maybe that's all it was. But it seemed to me that the real story was the systemic failures that we, as a country, are failing to address. The remarkable thing that this teacher does at the start of each school day is to make sure all her students have had breakfast and have clean clothes to wear. And if they don't, she helps them get those things. That she does this on a teacher's salary is even more remarkable. Target gave her $10,000 as a thank you for her service and $10,000 to her school, which I don't deny is very nice, but probably pales in comparison to what the school needs for its students. Couldn't we, as a society, pay our classroom teachers at least $10,000 more a year? The salaries for teachers are vanishingly small, and when they're also supporting the impoverished students of their classrooms, it's embarrassing for us as a first world nation. Couldn't we, as a society, give $10,000 more a year to schools that help develop the kinds of citizens we want to see in the world? Couldn't we, as a society, give $10,000 more a year to fight poverty of the kind that sends millions of kids to school every day without breakfast? I mean, it's nice of Target to pony up $10,000 this one well-publicized time. And of course, this teacher is remarkable and deserves to be honored, but it feels very much like a con game to me. It's a snow job where we look at this generous woman and a generous corporation and feel good about ourselves for a bit instead of looking directly at the way we've structured our society. I don't know my dystopian science fiction so well, but surely there's a story wherein the culture sets up one person a year to congratulate them and celebrate them, and the whole culture rallies around them, thereby dissipating the anger that might be brewing around the growing income disparity and poor children everywhere. Which story is that like? Or maybe that's just us. Okay, that's it. I am only giving you one idea per blogcast. That is the idea here. We don't want to clutter up your brains with multiple ideas. If you want to hear some more, there are 4 previous episodes with 4 different ideas. And some of the blogs will be podcasts and some will not. This one is, so hurrah. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a part of this little experiment, this little community of people listening to the blog and the podcast. And you will hear more from me soon, I hope. Bye. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Bleep, bloop. Boo! La, 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 la. Who will start the singing? Who will start the singing? I will not be starting the singing. I will not be starting the singing.